second segment of Studio Talk. Now we're going into the final segment of our first episode of Studio Talk. And this is where we talk about the English Premier League, sir.
Weekly weekly EPL show.
And this is the best league in the world. We have a few Jamaicans playing in the league, doing well in the league. Some not playing in the league.
That's
I don't want to talk about it.
That's for the next episode of Keeping Up with the Regular.
That's what keeping up with the regular boys. People, stay tuned to the next episode of Studio Talk. But this is the Premier League. And I was just saying that we have some interest in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about the interest in the Premier League. It's Arsenal. Let's talk about are Arsenal the real deal right now?
You're blind?
Let me answer the question.
You're
No,
blind?
I'm here to moderate. I'm here to ask the questions.
And I'm
So
here
that-
to answer the question.
So you ask me if I'm blind right now?
That is it.
Ask the people if them blind, brother. The people them want to hear you. Answer them. Me just ask the people them want to
Ask me
hear.
the question again. Ask me the question.
Are
again.
Arsenal the real deal?
Well, based on my meticulous analysis of this season, from the very inception in August to where we are right now,
Yeah.
it is clear to me, and it is easy for me to make the assertion
No
that
funny toad still, you know.
that Arsenal are without a doubt the best football team in all of Europe right now. Unequivocally. I think they're playing the best football. I think they're the best coach. I think they're the most consistent. And I think they just have the most swag. We just pass it. We just make some pass and make some tackle. And we have such a very good defense. We have such a confident set of young players, the youngest team.
Bro.
Doing the best in the league. I think Arsenal, I'm an objective journalist. I think Arsenal have the best team right now, and they're playing the best football right now in all of Europe.
I give up. That's the tell when I go do funny toad. I don't care. I'm going to funny toad. This was the time I was looking for. This was what I was asking for all these years.
You got it out.
I tried for like a second and I failed. My funny toad. As an Arsenal fan, I've been asking over the years, what are we doing? What do we try to do when we go on the football field? And I know exactly what I'm getting from Arsenal right now. I know exactly what I'm getting from Mikel Arteta right now. Hopefully people don't suss it out and it get, repetitive and they know what to expect to the point where they can stop it. It's hard to stop. I don't think we can stop it right now. Definitely can't stop it this season.
We are so dynamic. Arsenal, I've seen it a couple of times this season, and that's why I predicted in about the middle of the middle of the first 2 months of the season, like in about October, November, before the World Cup. I was telling you they were going to win the World Cup. They were going to win the Premier League because of how dynamic they were. Because I've seen matches like Crystal Palace where they play, they like get pressure, suck up pressure, get out and win the game. I've seen where they've given up the ball, they've won the game. Like in that Crystal Palace match, we had a poor match, managed to get the points from the game.
Comebacks, dominate games. Now we've seen it all. So I do believe that Arsenal are the really, obviously City is nothing to sleep on. City can make a run. But I don't believe that Arsenal right now, last year they were in the top four. And inexperience caused them the top four. They had games in hand. They had an easy run of game going into the last 2 or 3 games of the season. And they fluffed their lines and Tottenham sneaked into it.
And it was the natural line of progression. They were improving, and last year they
More
were
experience.
the youngest team in the league, still are.
Mm-hmm.
But they're older now than they were last year.
And Mikel Arteta is a better coach than he was last year. He's a more experienced coach than he was last year. And I'm expecting Arsenal to go all the way. If they don't go all the way, then that's just City's greatness. I don't think Newcastle are... Let's get to Newcastle soon, but I feel like Arsenal right now...
If they don't go all the way, it's not City's greatness. It's Arsenal's league to lose.
I can't go that far. I feel like...
No team has lost after having this many points at this point of the season.
Right. And
so that's why I say it's Arsenal.
Record get.
Yeah, for sure. But if this record is broken, it's Arsenal season still.
Fine. Let's talk about Newcastle for a second. Right now, they're sitting in second place. City obviously plays today.
And considering
they played before this game.
Considering that this is a weekly
before
show,
this video,
I think it's ideal that we started off speaking about Arsenal and Newcastle because we have to speak about this week's football and what we saw. And what we saw was an absolutely amazing top 4 battle, in my opinion. We saw Newcastle's coach Eddie Howe, so self-aware, such an outstanding manager, and he's proven himself time and time again. And the game against Arsenal was no different. How he had his men go to the Emirates and play exactly how they wanted to play. You know, he messed the game up. You know, he got it out. You know, they took many dives, they wasted a lot of time, they frustrated Arsenal players, and they defended staunchly, as Newcastle do, being the best defense, and it's not an accident. The best defense in the whole Premier League. I was saying something, jokingly, of course. You know, a statement like this would have people question my footballing knowledge. But I'm saying with the likes of Shaw and Byrne and Nick Pope, how can a team keep the ball in the goal? Like, those three guys take up all the space on the whole entire football field. They're just three huge men, you know. And then the athleticism of Trippier, on one side, the name of the other wing back eludes me right now. There's no way you score on this team. They're so hard to score on, and they play so disciplined. And then the transition play of Bruno Guimaraes, who has to be in the team of the season.
Definitely.
To this point, right? He just gets it up top so quickly and so efficiently. And let's not even speak about Miguel Almiron, who didn't have his best game against Arsenal because of the greatness of Arsenal, who were really down Newcastle's throat for the whole game. But Almiron still managed to work hard, and he still managed to help his team, even when he wasn't at his usual shiny best. This Newcastle team are the real deal. And one thing I can say is that when it's not going great and when you're not playing your best football, the ability to gut out results away is what it takes. It's what a Champions League team looks like.
Yeah, and I feel like they will be playing Champions League football. I told someone that yesterday that Newcastle are going to finish in the top 4. I do believe that. No, the jump that they made last year, they just received the Saudi money. Like last year, you know, they bought the club and my God, did this something fast.
Good management
and good investment. We talk about Trippier being one of their first, you know, buys. They bought Byrne. They bought Isak.
Nick Pope.
They bought Nick Pope.
Yeah.
You know, so many, you know, Guimaraes and some of those players that are smart buys. They didn't break the bank to buy them. They bought no one for $100 million.
Kieran Trippier is playing at $100 million right back level.
Yeah. And also, they made players better. Almiron, who was there, is playing at a higher level. Joe Ellington, that was there, is playing at a higher level.
Wilson.
Joe Willock, playing at a...
Wilson went to the World Cup.
There we go.
And he's been on super form. You know, Nick Pope has been the best goalkeeper in the Premier League. Byrne is team of the season. Yeah. That's how he's playing. You know, and this is Newcastle right now. Definitely well deserving of where they are right now. And that game was an epic game. It ended in a 0-0 draw, but I think it was a good match. Arsenal were robbed of a penalty. I say that definitively. I'm all for VAR.
Well, get it right.
But I don't understand it.
Get it right. Just get it right. Just get it right.
I don't understand it. Arsenal should have gotten that penalty. Saka was his usual shine. The best. Martinelli looked like he didn't have the step as he normally does. Saliba. What about what Saliba's come back from the World Cup and he's not like himself?
We kept a clean sheet, so I'm not going to be too harsh on him.
He made a few mistakes.
He made a few mistakes the last 3 games. They haven't been his best game, but you know, is that 2 clean sheets? No, 1 clean sheet in those games. Hopefully he picks it up from here. Gabriel looks to be, you know, we expected Gabriel to be the better one coming into the season.
Saliba was better than him by far. And
before the World Cup.
And Gabriel
he looks the man. He looks the man. He looks the man right now. And I don't care in a Bridging. He hasn't made a mistake. Well, he made 1 mistake that led to a goal, giving up a penalty.
I think both goals you were complicit in. The 2 goals.
Yeah, but a direct understand, but a direct mistake. Like what he did he immediately cost the goal. In the last game, he didn't make a mistake that cost the goal. Hopefully, it's a stepping stone, you know, in the right direction to play some better football. He didn't play at the World Cup. He played like 50 minutes or 60 minutes.
No, he played 90 minutes.
I don't think he finished. He
started the game and finished the game.
Well, he played 1 game in the World Cup, and
that's the only time he featured.
Yes, I don't.
Game versus Tunisia.
Yeah,
that they lost 1-0.
They rotated. I don't expect him to be tired. I expect him to step it up. But let's talk about some other teams. Manchester United deserves a big shout out.
Yeah,
Eric Ten Hag.
Eric 14 Hag.
Bridging we can't go 10 and 4. We can't go 11 Hag right now. We can't go Eric and 9 Hag. We can't go none of that right now. The man are getting people to play some football.
Oh my
Marcus Rashford it has a new lease on life. They here newly. Huh?
What's Cristiano Ronaldo the problem?
I I see correlation. Cause, not so sure, but I see correlation. And if you're going to make that take, I can't argue it. Obviously, if Eric Ten Hag was supposed to come out and say, "Oh, he was the issue all along," I would agree with him. I would then say, "All right, you make it up, big man." But from the outside right now, maybe a lot of coaches don't just come in and it goes bang.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it takes some time, and maybe without Ronaldo, it would have taken some time. So we have to say that. But based on what I'm seeing from Manchester United right now, and I expected them to make. Ten Hag did well in Ajax. He's a very good coach, and he did well with young players.
Spent good money.
Yeah.
And you know what you say? Coaches liking who they like. We saw Arteta go for Gabriel and Oli. And that's Zinchenko that I speak. He's Oli. That's what I call him affectionately,
Gabriel being Jesus.
Those two players that Arteta went for.
He knows.
That wasn't a mistake. And we see Ten Hag break the bank for Anthony and brought over Lisandro. It's not a mistake.
Mm-mm.
And we see where he opts to go with Lisandro Martinez, tooth and nail.
Over his club captain.
And Martinez has been proving him right over and over again. And Anthony has come to England and made an immediate impact.
Yeah. Will his injury affect them now?
I think it will. I think it will. But they do have competent replacements. Garnacho
playing some football.
England is so excited for Garnacho. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. That kid.
So, I think Ten Hag has done really well with these guys. Casemiro some good money.
And Casemiro playing some football, man.
My next question is this Bruno Fernandes's team?
At the moment, yeah. This is Bruno Fernandes' team. It should have been Maguire's team, but Maguire can't see the field and Maguire makes too many mistakes.
Played last
and I
game.
feel like he played the last game. Lindelof also played in the game before. And we saw Martinez come on in the what?
Yeah,
game. So we know that Martinez is the starting.
Yeah. Just come back from vacation.
Yeah, I don't think Maguire as I look at it right now. But it is Bruno's team, I believe. We see Bruno being the man on the pitch. His demeanor is kind of, he has that demeanor even when he's not the man. But I feel like right now he's embracing the role. And I feel like Eric Ten Hag is not even telling him to calm down. Yeah, so Bruno, and he's played some good football. He came back from the World Cup being Portugal's best player. I say that, with my chest. He was Portugal's best player in that World Cup. And he's back playing some good football.
And last question about Manchester United. Is it okay for me to say I told you so about Marcus Rashford?
But the thing is, bro, there are a lot of things that I told you that I don't necessarily, I don't want my I told you so moments. I don't care about it. I really don't care about it. I don't care. So if you want to say that you told me so, if it's going to give your ego a little boost, then fine. The thing that I told you, the people have it on record. It's fine. You can go for it. Say it, man.
Yeah, people.
3 words.
Marcus Rashford,
I told you 4. Sorry, but I have a code.
Chacha. I honestly believe that Marcus Rashford has been so underrated because every time I've seen him, he's looked so good, but he's just missing that one thing where you're like, you're not the end product. Or
250,000 a week, you can't just be looking good. And that's the point that Manchester United supporters make, bro. I pay you $250,000, I give you Raheem Sterling money. Obviously, Raheem Sterling makes more facility and Chelsea. But I give you $250,000, I give you Aubameyang's money. You are supposed to give me 20 plus goals. I give you, the money that the best in the Premier League are making. You're making more money than Mohamed Salah. Yeah, give me 20 goals, and if you can't do that, you're not living up to the money that I paid you. That's the point. But as a player, I agree.
His age, that could have been
number 10 Manchester United.
He looks like it now, though.
No, he looks like it now, and obviously, I wish bad for the players. That's why I hope he doesn't continue like this because I hate Manchester United.
I hope that he doesn't continue like this, even though I believe.
I say it without saying it, man. You can't just just keep the Manchester United people by your side and keep watching the show.
Watch the show for us.
All right, people.
I said Rashford would become this.
Yeah.
And I do believe that Rashford is next up for England after Hurricane. I do believe that Rashford is the next star for England. I genuinely believe that he's that guy.
I feel like Bukayo Saka is the next star for England.
No, I think Saka is going to be the best player for England. And I feel
like he's going to be the man for England.
I think Rashford is going to be the next 50 goal scorer for England.
I
don't think Saka is going to be that next 50 goal scorer.
Hey, make us see. We know Saka goals in the match. And you pick Rashford.
Rashford already have a head start on Saka in terms of goals.
All right.
For England.
Okay, he's older. Saka is just 21 years old. So, people, Manchester United, I hate you. I just wanted to say that. That's all I just wanted to say right there.
All right,
This-
segue into the others, but we can talk about City first.
yeah.
Erling Haaland doesn't stop scoring.
Yeah.
Will he ever stop scoring?
No, I don't think he will. And the thing is, we made a few predictions. You made one that he would score what over 30 goals over 40. He will break the record
Yeah.
that is now
Yeah,
32.
I said he would
And I said that
definitely
Kevin De Bruyne will break the assist record, and Kevin De Bruyne is in double digits right now before the half of the
start
season.
off with a dud though. Start
Yeah,
off by
yeah,
the new year with a dud
yeah.
after Christmas.
Yeah, but still,
What is KDB? Am I bring the Belgium bad voodoo upon the man them team?
and a lot of people is calling his age right now. They're saying, are we seeing the start of the end? The
I don't
beginning
know,
of the
but he
end?
was ridiculous like just 3 months ago.
Yeah, and so 9 assists. Not one more game to the halfway of the season, and I still expect him to beat that 20-goal mark. Haaland is not slowing down. Grealish is obviously taking up the
I
assist
didn't
now.
expect this slow style from KDB. I thought he would have came back, especially he came back in the cup match. Amazing.
Yeah.
And then the league starts and he had like 3 subpar performances. So I don't know what's going on there.
Make us see. City looks like City.
Like
I don't.
to be honest, not really. They dropped
That's
points.
what I said. Dropping the points. Was it to Brighton? I don't remember. But they dropped some points. I didn't expect that from them. But guess what? As an Arsenal fan, I love it. I can't say I hate City. I love it. I can't lie. Yeah, I don't hate City.
I don't hate City.
But I definitely like the fact that I love the fact that they drop points. It's unlike them in a weird way. City is usually like threatening to go unbeaten. They always threaten to do it.
You know, every single game.
Exactly. So, City is just giving us City performances with some odd ones in there.
Haaland can be more clinical.
Haaland can be more clinical, but the thing is,
That's
the strikers that
that's
score the
why
most.
That's why I believe that Harry Kane is better than Haaland.
The thing is, the strikers that score the most also tend to miss the most chances because they get the most chances. Being in the position that he's in all the time, he's also one of the most clinical strikers in the world.
Not everybody can be Messi.
Not everybody can be Messi. And Haaland has a very good chance of doing some things that Messi never did. So here what? Haaland is the man right now.
Yeah.
Haaland is the man right now. And finally, Haaland is the man right now.
Will he ever stop scoring?
No, he won't. Erling Haaland, we're not Man City fans, people. We just have to give the credit where it is.
Fulham, Brentford.
Brentford right now. Yeah.
Albion. What do you have to say about those?
Brighton doing what?
Losing Graham Potter.
Yeah, they lost Graham Potter, but at the same time, their coach is taking good steps.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he's not Graham Potter.
No.
And you can see it.
But I can see Brighton being more pragmatic in the way they play. Graham Potter had them looking way more creative, had them looking way more like a top team. They're looking more pragmatic, but still managing to get results, still managing to score goals.
Yeah, and I like that about Brighton.
Trossard hasn't been himself as he was under Graham Potter. After the World Cup, he had been
and it's a good squad.
Been one of Belgium's only okay players at this World Cup. I thought he would have come back on full fire, but I just don't think he's fitting in as he did with Graham Potter. I don't think this coach has them as well greased as Potter did. Yeah, you can definitely see the loss of Graham Potter.
And new coaches take some time to bed in. And speaking of new coaches bedding in, Graham Potter himself is taking some time and being very inconsistent at Chelsea.
Yeah.
So, Brighton, has a good squad, and their coach is taking some time. Graham Potter, who was their coach and playing some really good football, at Brighton, that earned him the move to Chelsea, is also being inconsistent and taking some time to bed in. Eric Ten Hag took some time to bed in. Mikel Arteta, even though he won the FA Cup, took some time to bed in. So people that we know are good managers usually get the time, but time will run out. So those teams that you mentioned, Brentford needs a big shout out. Brentford is being what we expect them to be, a solid Premier League team. They're good enough, and I wanted to speak a little bit about something that we spoke about off the air. England choosing Callum Wilson over Ivan Toney, who has been consistent throughout the whole Premier League season. In fact, for the last
season,
two, exactly,
the championship.
Exactly. So speak about that. How can Callum Wilson, get that call up over Ivan Toney based on what he's been doing in the Premier League, for the last 2 years?
I only can draw speculations and say it's the controversy that surrounds him. I mean, it's gambling controversy or his disloyal actions or imbecilic actions, or
mouthpiece on him, man.
Yeah, that might be the only thing.
Those fingers.
Yeah, that might be the only thing that I could see cause him that spot in the English team, because I was so certain that Ivan Toney would be rendered ineligible after this World Cup to play for the Reggae Boys.
He ain't.
He's not.
He ain't.
But
Not
I
a
was
single minute.
certain that he would have been because I thought that the World Cup and minutes in the World Cup was assured. As the Brentford people said, Ivan Toney would have scored.
There we go.
And to be honest, he would have scored.
Yeah.
He don't miss penalties.
I agree with you.
And England would probably win the World Cup. Had it been Ivan Toney on that penalty instead of him.
Can't fight. It wouldn't have happened, though. It wouldn't have happened.
Because it would have still been
He would have still been kid.
But yeah.
But I get what you're saying, and I agree. That was Ivan Toney's spot. I do believe he was robbed of a World Cup spot, and maybe robbed of a World Cup goal, and maybe robbed of good World Cup performances, and something to tell his kids about. Yeah. So I don't really love that. But Brentford as a team, though, we know we're gonna keep up with the reggae ball, but Ethan Pinnock, big comeback and playing, picking up where he left off. But we're gonna talk about it. In keeping up with reggae ball, people look forward to another episode. No, I can't even say another episode or another week. How many of these will we be doing?
Studio Talk.
How many of the, we said 3 per week?
Yeah.
At least 3 per week. There will be hot weeks that we just have to do some shows. But people, this is Studio Talk. This is Studio Talk. This is a good show. I feel like it was a good one to start it off. We talk about all things sports, people. This was our third and final segment, the Premier League segment. I hope you guys enjoyed this one.